Hey guys, this is Pedro back with another interview. This time covering League of Legends Mid-Season Invitational 2025. My guest at this time is SkewMond of G2 Esports. This time coming off of their opening a series victory over FURIA 3-2 to let's move on to the next round in the play-in stage. And so SkewMond, thank you so much. Really do appreciate the opportunity for this quick interview. And of course, I got to give you the obvious congrats on that. I mean, in a lot of ways, not many people would expect for this match to go the way it did. All five maps, the entire distance, but you guys were able to pull it out. So, first and foremost, what are your thoughts? How are you feeling? How are you feeling coming off of this match?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a bit happy obviously because we won and we didn't lose the game five, so that's already that. And yeah, I mean, a bit disappointed because I didn't really expect us to play not that bad, but like in that way. I think in the first games, I think we took a lot of time to link up with each other and be decisive in the game. And yeah, I mean, I think that we played kind of poorly today, and I think that FURIA actually played pretty decently. They were really aggressive in some timings, and I think they just played pretty great. So props to them for that series. And yeah, I mean, I'm just looking forward for tomorrow.
No, for sure. I mean, it was definitely one in which the team had to suffer for a few instances, or maybe a lot of instances. You can kind of elaborate on that on this matchup. And I remember an interview your coach did, Dylan, regarding like Furia and how like you guys were not going to underestimate them coming into today. You kind of pointed out the the traits that they showed that made this series difficult for your team. Exactly which of them made it that much more difficult, more than the rest?
I mean, I think that coming in, obviously, like we didn't really play against them neither in scrims or like stage games. So the only way to scout them was by watching their stage game, right? So we were kind of looking at most of the games for like the past 2 months and how the draft, etc. And yeah, I mean, we saw a lot of patterns, and I think that today we didn't see like a single one of them from the one we saw. So I think yeah, like they just came and play a different game that they usually do, but they played together, and I think that it paid off really well. As I said, I think they were pretty aggressive on sides, and didn't really let us the chance to like um, kill them on sites. And I think they were kind of grouping a lot, which was not really on our scouting, I guess. And yeah, I mean, they were kind of forcing a lot together, and we didn't really have the tools to answer them once we fall behind. So yeah, it was like kind of just unexpected overall.
Yeah, of course. In a few instances in this series, you guys were in front of were in front of Fordia, obviously winning game one, then being top 2-1, and then Fordia came back both times to force the game five, and then once game five happened, it was basically you guys running away with it, having all the momentum. What do you think allowed you guys to just pull away at the very end in such a dominating fashion? I would say.
Uh, Good question. I mean, I think that yeah, like we were just focused on like what's coming right. We didn't really think about the game we just played. We just knew that we played pretty poorly the game in the game before. So we just had a solid plan, I think, and we just executed pretty well. And yeah, I mean, thanks to like a good performance by Caps as well, like in the game five, getting a solo kill. I think that yeah, it just helped us to have direction in that game, and we played a lot suicide, for example. And I think that yeah, like once they did a few mistakes with their composition, I think that it's really hard for them to come back into it. And I think that yeah, we are more decisive than in the first games.
Coming off of this matchup against a team like Furia, many people expected for this Furia team to not really make much noise in this competition, given that it is so young, and many people don't really look at LTA South as like a pretty strong region in itself. For you guys to then come out of this and now move on to the next round against whoever it is you guys will face. Um, where do you kind of look at the current level of your team right now as you guys now await for your next opponent? Where does it kind of stand against the rest of the competition from your point of view, given what happened today?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Like, I think if we play the same as we did today, well, not making it out of planes. I think that obviously, like teams like BLG and GAM are pretty strong. Even FURIA showed that today that they had a lot of potential. So yeah, I think we need to step it up for tomorrow and the next days coming. I think that We just need to have the good talks and like the good reflection about what happened today. But yeah, definitely, like if we have the same performance today, as I said, I don't think we are making it that far. But when I look back at our scrims and like our training overall, I was actually pretty confident coming into today, but we didn't really show up that performance that we usually have. So yeah, I mean, I still believe and hope that we can showcase this performance in the next games. And yeah, I mean, like whoever we face tomorrow is definitely not going to be easy, but I'm pretty sure that if we can just focus, I guess, like more on ourselves and like yeah, get our shit together, I guess, I think that we can definitely win some series.
You guys definitely look to reflect on today, and I kind of now want to pivot over to yourself, SkewMond, because like of course this is your first appearance in an international setting. Did you have any nerves? Was there anything like anxiety, within you, when you started to compete and be on the stage in front of the crowd?
I mean, not really, to be honest. Like, I mean, as kind of every game I played, like even in LEC, like I just have obviously like this little excitement coming to the stage, and but besides that, I didn't really have any fear of like playing the game or anything, right? Like I personally did, like I kind of played poorly in the first game. I think I made some kind of mistakes. I think the game was kind of in our hands, and I kind of forced too much. But besides that, I don't think it's like related to anxiety or stress. I just think that we had some miscommunication. We were not on the same page during the game, so it kind of we kind of paid the price for this ones. But besides that, I actually kind of felt good playing on stage, like whether it's like mechanically wise or like just like communication wise. I think that I was pretty yeah, just pretty comfy.
There was a little bit of talk in a few interviews in the lead up to this competition about like how the team has kind of been preparing itself, and looking at the scrims and the teams you guys have been facing, like a few ERL teams and then also a few LTA teams here and there. Um, how has the turnover been for yourself and the rest of the team? Moving from end of LEC to now making the flight over to Canada, trying to get accommodated to the new setting and get yourselves ready for this competition. And also, what has been the most difficult part of the entire process?
Can you repeat that question just briefly? I don't think I got it well.
What has been the turnover like? From end of LEC to getting to Canada, getting settled in, and what has been the most difficult part about it?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, like for me personally, I'm kind of talking for myself, but like I'm actually also like the only one in the team that didn't really move from Europe, right? Just in general. So I was kind of fighting the jet lag. It's like my first experience regarding that one. But like the others, like obviously, like they have so much experience, right? Like I don't even need to tell you how many times they went to international tournaments. But yeah, like, I think for me, like personally, it's like fighting jet lag, and also like playing uh, on a different time. Like for example, the games are pretty early, like they are starting at 12, while in LEC, like the earliest game you can ever play is like 17 or like 18, if I'm not wrong. So like it's pretty early, so we just have to change a bit our schedule. Everything's a bit more rushed. And besides that, we didn't really have that much trouble, to be honest. I think that everything was pretty great. I think our setups were nice, and we've just like played Scrim since we arrived. And yeah.
Yeah, and without question, as someone that has been kind of like getting settled into the LEC in your rookie season, you've been able to be on top of everything. And, back onto MSI, now that you're in this competition, do you have any kind of like player that you most definitely want to face or have already faced in scrims?
Yeah, I mean, I would like to face, like for example, BLG in the planes. I think it will be nice. It will help us like get some experience, and like I think they are definitely a strong team. And if you can make it out of planes, obviously, like we are most likely facing JG if we make it, if I'm not wrong. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to be a big challenge. And I think like these two teams, even like T1 for me, like I'm obviously like following like Faker and like SKT in general for like so many years. So facing this a team that big will mean a lot to me. And yeah, I mean, like to be honest, like all the LPL, HCK teams, even like FlyQuest, I think they are pretty strong teams. So I'm really looking forward to face all of them if possible.
One more question before I wrap it up. We're going to be very quick. You know, obviously the expectation for this playing stage is to make it out of it and go into the playoff bracket. Nevertheless, I want to ask you, how far do you feel like this team can go in terms of its potential in this competition?
Yeah, I mean, I think that we can definitely go far, right? I think that if we just find our winning recipe and we don't like choke it on the game day, I think that we definitely have our chances to beat the best teams. We didn't really get the chance to scream any Asian team so far because they didn't arrive, right? So I don't really know how to compare ourselves to them. Obviously, I think they are really strong, but I think that we have a lot of potential, and I think that on a good day we can pull off some great performances. So I just hope that we can make it there, and yeah, just play against the best team and show what we can do.
Of course, and hopefully you're able to make that happen. SkewMond, thank you so much for the opportunity for the interview and best of luck for
Thank
the
you.
road ahead.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.